I have lived long enough to dispose of you.
Hello and welcome to another marvelous video. In the realm of video games, the Legacy of Kain series has garnered extensive acclaim for its exceptional storytelling. The series began in 1996 with the release of Blood Omen Legacy of Kain on the original PlayStation, followed by a PC version the following year. However, the release of Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver in 1999 sent the franchise to the zenith of critical praise. Regrettably, it has been quite a substantial period of time since our last venture into the enthralling realm of Nosgoth, as the final entry in the series Legacy of Kain Defiance was released 2 decades ago, in 2003. Fans have held on to hope for a revival of the series, and there are now indications that Crystal Dynamics may be teasing a new game within the franchise. More on this later.
Now at last, the masks.
Today, we will explore the origins and history of the legendary vampire character who serves as the central figure in this acclaimed franchise. Indeed, we are referring to none other than Kain. Throughout the series, Kain's role has undergone transformations, alternating between that of a protagonist and an antagonist. This dynamic character showcases extraordinary godlike powers, along with traits of arrogance and a manipulative nature. But what is his story? Stay with us as we uncover the details all the way to the end. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Lay on, little vampire. Lay on. Ve Victus!
Kain's tragic backstory explored. Pre-transformation life. Emerging from humble beginnings as a human in the events preceding Blood Omen, Kain, the son of noble lineage, lived a life unaware of the profound destiny that awaited him in the realm of Nosgoth. Originating from the city of Korhagen, he enjoyed a life of privilege amidst a decaying world. As he grew older, he became witness to the emergence of the formidable legions of the Nemesis in the northern regions, recognizing the imminent danger they posed to the kingdom he was loyal to, the Lion Throne. Wandering the land, Kain's path took a fateful turn that would lead to his tragic end. In his youth, at the age of 30, he sought shelter at a tavern in Ziegstrel, but unfortunately, he could not find lodging for the night. Compelled to continue his journey, he fell victim to a group of ruthless brigands who ambushed and assassinated him.
I seek only a cure.
There is no cure for death, only release.
Transformation into a vampire, and early years as a vampire. Following his assassination, consumed by anger and disoriented in the spectral realm, Kain impulsively agreed to an offer made by the necromancer Mortanius to seek revenge for his death. However, upon being resurrected, he discovered the harsh truth that he had been deceived, and his existence had been transformed into that of a vampire. Unfazed by his newfound hunger and physical frailty, Kain embarked on a relentless pursuit, tracking down and eliminating his assassins one by one, satisfying his thirst for their blood. Believing his mission to be accomplished, he was soon confronted by Mortanius, who revealed that these individuals were mere pawns in the grand scheme of his murder, not the true culprits.
I serve no one.
Indeed.
Kain's quest for revenge. Intrigued by the necromancer's cryptic words and driven by his desire to find a remedy for his vampiric affliction, Kain sets his sights on the Pillars of Nosgoth, venturing forth on a quest to uncover the answers he sought. Upon reaching the 9 pillars, Kain encountered Ariel, the former guardian of the Pillar of Balance, who was now trapped there due to the corruption caused by the pillar's interdependent nature. She revealed to Kain that death had no remedy, only release, and urged him to eliminate the sorcerers who were poisoning Nosgoth if he desired peace. These sorcerers, under the influence of Nupraptor, the Mind Guardian and Ariel's former lover, had driven the Circle of Nine, the sworn protectors of the Pillars, into madness, causing suffering and despair across the land. Despite his indifference towards the world's fate, Kain silently accepted the mission, becoming the scourge of the Circle and embarking on his quest. In his quest to confront and eliminate Nupraptor, Kain journeyed through human settlements, noting the evident decay and deterioration of Nosgoth as he advanced. Along the way, he gradually mastered new abilities, gaining proficiency in wielding arcane spells and the ability to transform into a wolf and a bat using magic at his will. Upon reaching Wasserbunde, he observed Nupraptor's retreat and decided to eradicate the problem source from its core. Engaging in a brief but intense battle, Kain successfully beheaded Nupraptor. Afterward, he returned to Ariel and presented the severed head of her former lover before the Pillar of Mind, cleansing it of the corruption that had plagued it. Kain's next target was Malik, the conflict guardian and a sworn protector of the Circle. As he continued his journey northward, he returned to Korhagen, fully aware of the hostile reception that awaited him. The plague had ravaged the city, and he sarcastically referred to it as a perfect homecoming. Using his bat form, Kain flew to Malik's bastion, but even in this harsh environment, he found little respite. Engaging in a fierce battle, Kain faced Malik, but their encounter was brief as the paladin unleashed a powerful spell of holy magic that Kain couldn't overcome, forcing him to retreat. Recognizing that he needed more guidance and power to defeat Malik, Kain sought the advice of the Oracle of Nosgoth following Ariel's counsel. In the Oracle's cave, Kain expressed frustration with the elderly soothsayer's enigmatic philosophy and demanded straightforward answers. He dismissed the cryptic's tricks and riddles, urging the Oracle to provide him with clear guidance. The Oracle then alluded to the challenges faced by King Ottmar of Willendorf and the legions of the Nemesis, hinting that Kain's destiny was intertwined with that of Vordor, a powerful vampire who had defeated Malik in battle centuries ago. At Kain's insistence, the old man directed him towards the Termagant forest and suggested that he follow the glow of the Ignis Fatuus to reach Vordor's mansion. Kain experienced mixed feelings upon meeting Vordor, as he was both impressed and disgusted by the elder vampire's extravagant and indulgent lifestyle. Vordor's opulent tastes revealed to Kain a reflection of what he himself might become if he continued down the same path. Initially regarding Vordor as boorish and a degenerate old individual, Kain's perspective on his newfound ally gradually changed, and he developed a sincere fondness for him, despite his own youthful arrogance. Vordor advised Kain to detach himself from human matters, referring to them as mere cattle. He bestowed upon Kain his signet ring, allowing him to summon Vordor for needed assistance. This encounter with Vordor further solidified Kain's determination to find a cure for his vampiric affliction. He now clearly understood the monstrous fate that awaited him if he allowed his curse to consume him. Guided by the Oracle's counsel, Kain decides to explore Avernus Cathedral, where he discovers the infamous sword, the Soul Reaver. Avernus, a city characterized by autocratic rule, is under the dominion of Azimuth the Planar. Moving through the structure, Kain confronted Azimuth and, with minimal effort, defeated her by striking her down with a single mighty blow from his recently acquired blade. While restoring the Pillar of Dimension, Kain stumbled upon a time-streaming device that he conveniently found on Ariel's deceased body. Despite Vordor's advice to avoid meddling in human affairs, Kain's attention was redirected by Ariel towards the legions of the Nemesis, and he decided to ignore Vordor's counsel. Gradually, Kain found himself getting entangled in human events, accepting that he would have to delve into the schemes of Mobius, the Guardian of Time, if he ever wanted his quest to come to a meaningful conclusion. After drinking blood from the tomb of one of King Ottmar's ancestors in the provincial mines, Kain harnessed the power of his newly acquired Beguile enchantment to assume the appearance of a living nobleman. With this disguise, he managed to meet King Ottmar, who was beloved by his people. Through their conversation, Kain realized his path ahead. He would have to retrieve the soul of the Princess of Willendorf, which was trapped inside a doll from Elzevir, the dollmaker. In return for this favor, King Ottmar's army of the Last Hope would provide aid against the legions. Kain successfully infiltrated Elzevir's abode in northern Nosgoth, and after completing this task, he returned to the court with the soul of the princess and the head of Elzevir. Despite this opportunity to rule Willendorf, Kain declined the offer, expressing his sole desire to utilize Ottmar's army to confront and defeat the encroaching legions in the north. King Ottmar readily agreed to this agreement. Soon after, the Army of Hope and the legions of the Nemesis clashed in the Battle of the Last Stand. Kain stood witness as the overwhelming black tide of enemies advanced, and he quenched his thirst by feeding on warriors from both sides amid the chaos. However, the relentless and formidable Nemesis armies showed no signs of relenting. Before long, they managed to kill Ottmar, scattering and overpowering Willendorf's troops. Facing an inevitable defeat, Kain resorted to his only means of escape. That's right, you guessed it, the time-streaming device. Transported away from the events of his own era in Blood Omen, Kain found himself thrust 50 years into the past, a period where the tyrannical figure of the Nemesis was but a benevolent and virtuous young ruler known as William the Just. In this era, he killed a man-at-arms and gained insight into his thoughts, witnessing Mobius rallying William's people for an impending onslaught. A daring idea took shape in Kain's mind. He realized that if he assassinated William this time, the Nemesis would never rise to power and threaten Nosgoth's future. Fueled by this plan, Kain infiltrated the stronghold of William the Just, and as he got closer, he overheard Mobius warning William of his impending approach. To make matters worse, Mobius provided William with weapons before departing. As Kain confronts William, he discovers that they both possess the Soul Reaver, resulting in a temporal anomaly of significant magnitude. The coexistence of two Soul Reavers in the same era generates a potent temporal distortion capable of reshaping the timeline. Despite the challenge, Kain managed to overpower the future Nemesis by using his own version of the legendary sword. He shattered William's Reaver and ultimately killed him. This significant historical event created a paradox, leading to the emergence of a new altered timeline. While Kain roamed further south past Stolberg, he noticed the sounds of cheering and the distinct aroma of vampire blood permeating the air. To his dismay, he soon realized that the terrible consequence of his actions had befallen the land. With King William dead on his hands, the people of the realm had become consumed by a new craving, a hunger for vampire blood. Arriving at the scene, Kain witnessed a horrifying sight. Vordor, the last remaining vampire of this altered timeline, was being executed by guillotine under Mobius' command before a bloodthirsty and vengeful mob. The repercussions of Kain's interference had brought about a nightmarish scenario where vampires were now hunted and slaughtered by the very people they once ruled over. Kain's realization dawned on him that Mobius had been the Oracle of Nosgoth all along, manipulating events to serve his sinister purposes. Filled with anger and frustration, Kain questioned how much of his entire quest had been part of Mobius' design. As he fought off vampire hunters and confronted Mobius himself, Kain engaged in a fierce battle with the Time Streamer. In their final confrontation, Mobius admitted his role in altering history and ominously warned Kain of his destiny, that he would eventually meet his end. However, Kain remained undeterred and unafraid, retorting that he was already dead. With this powerful declaration, Kain beheaded Mobius, delivering the same fate he had warned him about, emphasizing their shared mortality. In a moment of dark revelation, Mortanius praised Kain and beckoned him to the pillars. There, Kain bore witness to a confirmation among the last remaining guardians: Mortanius, the guardian of death, and Anarchroth. Anarchroth revealed a shocking truth that Mortanius had orchestrated Kain's death and transformed him into a vampire, setting him on the path of vengeance against the Circle. Nupraptor's madness had tainted the pillars, and the only way to redeem Nosgoth was to destroy the corrupted pillars. In a climactic showdown, Mortanius killed Anarchroth and then faced Kain, accepting his own fate. He acknowledged that he had played a significant role in Kain's journey, but also warned the prince that his death would only leave another to take his place in the grand scheme of things. The fate of Nosgoth remained uncertain, as Kain grappled with the implications of Mortanius' actions and the responsibility that lay ahead. Engaging in a fierce battle, Kain successfully defeated Mortanius, restoring 8 of the 9 pillars. Mortanius' flesh underwent a horrifying transformation, revealing him to be the sinister Unspoken that Ariel previously had warned Kain about. This evil entity was responsible for Ariel's murder and the corruption that had befallen the pillars. Finally, the truth was unveiled as Ariel revealed the hidden secret to Kain. Throughout his entire journey, he had been an ordained member of the Circle of Nine, specifically the Balance Guardian, destined to succeed Ariel upon her death, making him the last remaining member of the Circle. With this revelation, Kain was confronted with the immense responsibility of maintaining the balance of Nosgoth and fulfilling his role as the Balance Guardian. The world's fate now rested heavily on his shoulders, and he had to navigate a path forward to ensure the future of the land and its inhabitants. Upon learning the truth, Kain understood that, at the moment of his birth, he had been corrupted by Nupraptor's madness, just like the other Guardians. For the pillars to be fully restored, he too would need to die. Ariel presented Kain with a fateful and weighty decision. He faced a dilemma with 2 options. One was sacrificing himself to redeem Nosgoth, which would lead to the extinction of vampires, as he was the last remaining one. Or refuse the sacrifice, prolonging his own life and that of the vampire race, but at the cost of condemning Nosgoth to eternal damnation. Disgusted by the manipulations of the human sorcerers and unwilling to sacrifice himself, Kain ultimately refused the path of redemption. Instead, he embraced his curse and accepted his fate as a vampire. As a result, he triggered the collapse of the pillars, leading to significant consequences that would forever shape the future of Nosgoth. This decision set the stage for the subsequent games in the series, as Kain embarked on a quest to find a third path, one that offered an alternative solution to the predicament orchestrated by Mobius. Throughout the later games, Kain sought to uncover a way to break free from the cycle of fate and reshape the destiny of Nosgoth, ultimately searching for a resolution that went beyond the binary choices presented to him. Kain's rise to power. In Blood Omen 2, it was indeed revealed that after Kain refused the sacrifice, he led a formidable army in a grand endeavor to conquer the entirety of Nosgoth. Unfortunately, his ambitious campaign ended in failure when his own lieutenants turned against him, and he suffered a resounding defeat at the hands of the formidable Sarafan Lord in the city of Meridian. This betrayal and defeat marked a significant setback for Kain and his aspirations for dominance over Nosgoth. Along with losing his kingdom, Kain was also stripped of his iconic weapon, the Soul Reaver, which the Sarafan Lord took. Following his defeat, Kain remained unconscious for 2 centuries as he recovered from his injuries. Upon awakening, Kain discovered that he still had allies in this world. Uma, a member of Vordor's vampire clan known as the Cabal, assisted Kain in regaining his powers and aided him in his mission to establish vampire dominion over Nosgoth. As Kain recovered his former strength, he sought vengeance against his former lieutenants who betrayed him. Additionally, he rescued Magnus, his once great warrior who had been left horribly disfigured and was living in misery. Throughout the game, Uma attempted to betray Kain by handing him over to the Sarafan, but Kain saw through her treachery and killed her in retaliation. During his journey, Kain encountered a captive creature held by the Sarafan, who revealed a startling truth. The Sarafan Lord was not a human, but a Hyaldan, the ancient enemies of vampires. Unaware of the Hyaldan's true intentions at first, Kain remained focused on his quest for revenge. However, he came across a mysterious entity known as the Mass, which was being used to power a Hyaldan device. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Kain took decisive action and eliminated the Mass, only to uncover a shocking truth. It was none other than Janos Audrin, the ancient vampire who had undergone a devastating devolution due to centuries of captivity. In a moment of revelation, Janos disclosed to Kain the detailed history between the ancient vampires and the Hyaldan. He recounted how the Hyaldan inflicted a curse upon the once noble ancients, causing them to succumb to a ravenous thirst for blood and transforming them into vampires. Janos further enlightened Kain about the consequences of his choice to reject the sacrificial act, explaining that this act shattered the very pillars that acted as a prison, confining the Hyaldan within the demon realm. With a few Hyaldan breaking through, they constructed a device to sustain their existence in the physical realm, and Kain realized that he must destroy that device to sever their connection and banish the Hyaldan once more. As Kain's journey unfolded, he experienced a profound revelation. Every event that had occurred thus far, from the assassination of Ariel to his own resurrection as a vampire and the damning of the pillars, was a meticulously orchestrated plan with a singular, ultimate purpose. This realization hit Kain with the full force of understanding that he had been expertly manipulated and maneuvered like a pawn on a chessboard, all leading towards fulfilling a hidden agenda. The orchestration of these events became clear to Kain as he connected the dots, recognizing the intricate web of intrigues that had unfolded around him. Every step, decision, and consequence was a calculated move meant to pave the way for the realization of a grand design. This revelation confronted Kain with the knowledge that he had been both a participant and a victim in a complex scheme carefully crafted to bring about specific outcomes and disrupt the delicate balance of Nosgoth. The weight of this understanding fueled Kain's determination to uncover the truth behind these manipulations and seize control of his destiny in the face of these calculated machinations. Empowered by the revelation of the true nature of his enemies, Kain launched a bold assault on Hyaldan City, determined to confront the Hyaldan posing as the Sarafan Lord. Amid the intense battle, Janos Audrin, driven by a desire to aid Kain, intervened, but was ultimately overwhelmed and banished to the demon realm. Fueled by fury and unwavering resolve, Kain unleashed his might upon the Hyaldan, destroying the device that sustained their presence in the physical realm. With the Hyaldan Lord defeated, Kain reclaimed the mighty Soul Reaver, his iconic blade, which had been taken from him earlier. With his newfound power and determination, Kain embarked on a conquest, seeking to establish his dominion over all of Nosgoth. Driven by vengeance, Kain's campaign encompassed the entire realm as he ruthlessly subjugated his enemies and solidified his rule. His conquest became a testament to his strength and unyielding will, a symbol of his defiance against the forces that had manipulated him and sought to control his destiny. Legacy of Kain's impact on gaming. The Legacy of Kain series has undeniably left an indelible imprint on the gaming industry and gamers who have explored its enthralling world. Now let's delve into the reasons behind its lasting impact and popularity. Compelling storytelling. The gaming series is acclaimed for its intricate and complex narrative, which offers a dark and mature experience filled with surprises, enigmas, and philosophical themes. Kain's journey and the detailed lore of the series have captivated players and set a standard for games driven by storytelling. Memorable anti-hero. Kain stands out as a remarkable anti-hero, a flawed and multi-dimensional character who wrestles with personal struggles and the repercussions of his decisions, which means his depth and moral ambiguity make him an intriguing protagonist, resonating with players who appreciate nuanced character portrayals. Immersive world building. The series is renowned for its skill in crafting atmospheric and immersive environments that deeply resonate with players, leaving a lasting impression. Fans of the series will undoubtedly concur. The games transport players to Gothic landscapes within the realm of Nosgoth, where they encounter a rich tapestry of history and mythology. The meticulous attention to detail dedicated to crafting these environments contributes to an experience that is visually stunning and profoundly immersive, amplifying the overall allure of the series. Innovative gameplay. By including cutting-edge elements like shape-shifting, temporal dilation, and telekinesis, the series completely transforms gaming as we know it. These innovative additions enrich the gameplay experience, offering a wealth of depth and variety by seamlessly blending action-packed sequences, thought-provoking puzzles, and last but not least, an immersive exploration, making the experience of playing this game never dull. Influence on game design. The series has influenced subsequent games and developers, inspiring them to delve into mature storytelling, intricate world building, and morally complex characters. Its impact can be observed in titles that strive to deliver compelling narratives and memorable anti-heroic protagonists. Devoted fan base. The series has cultivated a dedicated and passionate fan community over time. Despite the franchise being on hiatus, fans continue to celebrate and discuss the games, maintaining an enduring interest and preserving Kain's legacy. Due to all the stated reasons and much more, the Legacy of Kain series has left an enduring imprint on the gaming industry as a whole. Character development over the years. Dennis Dyack, the CEO of Silicon Knights, initially had the idea for Kain in about 1993. He was supposed to be the main character in the video game The Pillars of Nosgoth, which subsequently became Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. Dyack was influenced by William Money, the lead role Clint Eastwood portrayed in the 1992 movie Unforgiven. The objective was to develop an anti-hero that would work well in a game, where the player is dropped into a setting where they are seen negatively, even doubting their own morality. Kain's character would be entangled in a web of manipulation in this harsh and brutal environment, compelled to make difficult decisions, and forced to maneuver as the central piece in a greater plot. Kain's role and personality underwent further expansion and revision throughout the development process. Early concept sketches showed that early ideas included showing Kain as an aged and hideous figure, which differs from the final representation. Kain's human form was originally represented with blonde hair, which was eventually altered to black for the game's final release. Initially, the character's name was not Kain. Writer Ken McCulloch made the decision to rename him during screenplay changes, albeit the original name has not been released publicly. What gives Kain such godlike powers? Due to his vampire nature, Kain has remarkable superhuman skills. He can readily move items weighing hundreds, probably tens of thousands of tons. Because of his extraordinary strength, he reacts and avoids assaults with ease at tremendously hypersonic rates, even achieving the speed of actual skybolts, thanks to his superhuman speed. In addition to his extraordinary magic power, Kain also has impressive durability and regeneration abilities. Kain's knowledge of magic allows him to project energy from his hands, control blood and souls, possess people, build force fields, halt time-traveling monsters, call forth skybolts, jolt dazed animals with mental shocks, manipulate light, and assume many forms. His razor-sharp claws and telekinetic abilities allow him to manipulate people and things in various ways. And if that doesn't impress you, he acquired the name Dark Gifts because of his skills and in-depth understanding of evil magic. Even though he was the last vampire, Kain's quick conquest of Nosgoth in less than 100 years is evidence of his exceptional tactical prowess. While he succeeds most as a swordsman, he has excellent ability with other weapons. Additionally, Kain is incredibly stealthy and can easily sneak into fortifications while remaining undetected. Over time, Kain acquires additional dark gifts from other vampires, strengthening his already powerful collection. These extra talents come from the Hyaldan Seer and include improved telekinesis, pyrokinetic powers, long-distance jumping, mind control over the weak-willed, the ability to assume an invisible ethereal mist form. Kain spent years perfecting his skills after defeating the Hyaldan Lord, which led to developing new talents. These include the power to teleport, release lightning, and change into a swarm of bats for quick movement. His telekinetic abilities have improved, and he can now transform into his mist form without the need for surrounding mist. He also has the rare ability to enter an evolutionary hibernation and come out every time with fresh adaptations that further set him apart from his human roots. When will the next installment be released? In October 2022, the excitement for the revival of the Legacy of Kain was reignited as Crystal Dynamics engaged fans through surveys, presenting thought-provoking questions about the franchise. These surveys inquired about fans' preferences for a sequel or remake and the desired genre for a potential game. Approximately a month later, Crystal Dynamics acknowledged the tremendous response from over 100,000 survey participants who expressed a strong desire to see the Legacy of Kain series return. However, updates regarding the franchise have been relatively scarce since then. Recently, rumors have been circulating regarding Crystal Dynamics' preparations for a secret playtest of an upcoming game. While some speculate that this game could be the next installment of Tomb Raider, others believe it may be connected to the Legacy of Kain series. Unfortunately, no substantial information has been released about the game, and the playtest is exclusively accessible to invited individuals. Nevertheless, considering the nature of the internet, it wouldn't be surprising if some testers violated their non-disclosure agreements, leading to leaks unexpectedly emerging on social media platforms. Marvelous verdict. That brings us to the end of this video. The legendary titular vampire protagonist of the Legacy of Kain series exemplifies the enduring legacy of a complex and intriguing character in the world of video games. Kain has made an everlasting impression on both the game industry and the hearts of players worldwide, beginning as a pawn in a great plot and evolving into a fearsome and ethically ambiguous figure. His journey has fascinated players throughout the series with its dense storyline, thought-provoking topics, and ethically murky decisions. His depth and complexity as an anti-hero have piqued the interest of gamers who value nuanced character depictions and explore dark and adult stories. Kain's name and legacy will continue to reverberate as fans anxiously anticipate the potential revival of the Legacy of Kain series, serving as a reminder of the lasting power of an iconic figure in the gaming industry. What do you like about Kain? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked the video, remember to hit the like button and share this video with your pals. I'll see you in the next one.